Hello, it's the national news coming to you live from our Media One Center, Star TV. With me, Waida Sese. Here are the top stories. The student ambassador and the new face of Lim Kok Wing University Sierra Leone, Madam Phoebens Will, has called on young Sierra Leoneans to participate in the world of innovation and creativity with Lim Kok Wing University to meet the necessary needs of employment in the 21st century of business and technology. Sierra Leone Welfare Trust, in collaboration with Orphans in Need, has donated 541,000 leones each to 500 orphans in the Frabe community in the east end of Freetown as a means of support to boost their livelihood. Amnesty International Sierra Leone, in collaboration with 40 Sierra Leone civil society organizations, have called on political parties ahead of the March 7, 2018 elections to sign the Sierra Leone Civic Space Manifesto that contains 4 human rights principles. And on this news, we shall later on join our sport correspondent Hilton John for some sport update. It's time now we go in for the news in detail. The student ambassador and the new face of Lim Kok Wing University Sierra Leone, Madam Phoebens Will, has called on young Sierra Leoneans to participate in the world of innovation and creativity with Lim Kok Wing University to meet the necessary needs of employment in the 21st century of business and technology. Here is the report. Visibility study has shown that the root causes for media malfunction through poor finances is the issue of business people not advertising with media houses in the country, though being the major means to generate revenue. While addressing journalists at the matriculation ceremony held at the Lim Kok Wing University campus in Freetown, the student ambassador of Lim Kok Wing, Madam Phoebens Will, reassured her audience that having acquired a bachelor degree in media broadcasting, she will ensure that her vision and innovative ideas will help change the media landscape in Sierra Leone.
Key thing. Now, I've been in the media, and the key challenge I know that is preventing media from growing is the finances. The attitude of businesses to advertise, it's not encouraging as you see in Ghana or Nigeria. In those countries, you'll see it's difficult for you to see shows on TV or on radio that do not have sponsors. Whereas in Sierra Leone, it's difficult to see shows with sponsors. Why? The attitude of businesses. They don't believe they should sponsor, or perhaps the market is too small, they don't prioritize it. But again, studying here, you're taught everything. Marketing skills, you're adding them. So when I don't want to work for anyone, I know how to go to meet a client and say, you've not been advertising. This is why you need to advertise. This is what you need to look. But why am I giving you my tips? Because I'll be coming into the industry to compete with others who are owners of business institutions. I won't give you all my secrets. You want to know more? Come to Lim Kok Wing and learn. Thank you very much.
In his address, the Deputy Education Secretary 1, Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, Aliu Bakar Conte, stated that courses offered by Lim Kok Wing University are unique, noting that they are not offered in any other universities in the country, as the university mainly focuses on creativity and practical work. He noted that 99% of students in the university are being sponsored through scholarships by the Sierra Leone government.
The university caters for the young generation who are future leaders of any ambitious, determined, focused, development-oriented, innovation-driven, and technologically minded nation as our beloved Sierra Leone. The courses, as you rightly seen, at Lim Kok Wing University are contemporary ones. These are courses that are not offered in our local university or public university. True of course. Good. So because they are not traditionally offered there, these courses are what the world wants and yearns for in young professionals. And this also means as long as you are a student of this noble institution, I want you to know that as for today or as of today, your matter in society and the world at large. The courses will also help you students to be the world's next generation by developing your mindset into a global one that will help you manage the challenges of the 21st century that we as a nation are faced with or will be faced with.
Representing the Vice President, Corporate Development, Dato Pong, the Campus Management Officer, Letty Paulo, assured students that Limcock Wing University provides conducive learning environment that will enhance their learning skills and global employment. Reporting for Star TV News, I am Waida Sisay. Well, that's how the matriculation ceremony atmosphere looks like at the Limcock Wing University, Freetown. Ceylon Welfare Trust, in collaboration with Orphans in Need, has donated 541,000 leones each to 500 orphans in the Frabe community in the east end of Freetown as a means of support to boost their livelihood. Let's have the details on this story.
Orphans in Need is a non-profitable organization which has been operating for decades in Sierra Leone to provide spiritual counseling as well as improving the livelihood of orphans and widows in the country. Widows and orphans across the country have benefited hugely from their awesome donation programs for the past decade. The Assistant Imam of the Jamaatul Haq Mosque and Secretary General of the organization, Sheikh Mohammed Mukhtar Khan, said the organization was formed in the United Kingdom, adding that the urge for the philanthropists to cater for the livelihood of orphans and widows is that most of them cannot afford the resources to keep them healthy and physically strong to provide their needs. Highlighting some of their targeted agenda, he disclosed that the organization caters for the payment of school fees for registered orphans, their shelter and medical facilities, among others.
I tell you Almighty Allah, plenty thank you for this goodness we do to the beginning up. And the beginning themselves, we appreciate them very much. We're so happy. I know we're able to express how we're happy. Because when we interview some of them, like they say since we that they don't die, you know, they don't get nobody responsible for them, they don't even for pay school fee for them, you know. So again, even when the kids, the parent, the mother, they can struggle to pay the school fee, you know, for getting lunch and buy uniform and books, it can be difficult for them. But with the help of orphan in needs now, I will tell you Almighty Allah, plenty thank you. Because this money when they give them, so now 4 times they take an inside per year. For every 3 months they give them, every 3 months they get. So by the time they see the year, they don't get up to 2 million plus. And then they will solve all the beginning problems there in terms of school fee, books, uniform, shoes, you know, although they get all the things they really need. But as of now, they appreciate them very much, and necessarily they pray for the orphan in needs, for let the Almighty Allah continue for them so that they will for support them.
Some of the beneficiaries of the awesome donation expressed their gratitude to Orphans in Need organization for their continued profound support towards ensuring the promotion of their livelihood. Other highlights include plans to provide free medical service to the orphans and widows across Sierra Leone. For Star News, Creighton Thomas reporting, compiled by Wahida Sisay.
Thanks, Creighton Thomas, for that report. You are still watching the national news live here at Star TV, Channel 21. Amnesty International Sierra Leone, in collaboration with 40 Sierra Leonean civil society organizations known as human rights defenders, have called on political parties ahead of the March 7, 2018 elections to sign the Sierra Leone Civic Space Manifesto that contains 4 human rights principles. Duraman Kamawa has more in our report.
The Civic Space Manifesto is a document designed and supported by over 40 Sierra Leonean civil society organizations to call on political parties ahead of the March 2018 elections to commit to 4 human rights principles to better safeguard civic space in Sierra Leone. The human rights defenders hope that all political parties in Sierra Leone will commit to the principle outlined in this manifesto, incorporate them in their party manifesto and policies to further this commitment if elected to political positions. The human rights defenders stated that people in Sierra Leone should have their rights to gather publicly or privately to peacefully meet, protest or campaign. This right should be protected, promoted and facilitated by authorities. Amnesty International West African researcher Sabrini Mathani maintained that next month's election in Sierra Leone are another landmark moment as Sierra Leone recovers from devastating Ebola outbreak, and there is no doubt there will be vibrant rallies and passionate debate, which is an essential role for the authorities to play in ensuring that every Sierra Leonean can participate in these elections, speaking out freely and assemble peacefully in full safety.
Secondly, in terms of NatCom and Facebook, the message here is that, there should not be threats against people using social media. And the fact that, that this has not happened is a positive thing. What we are saying is that we want to make sure during the election period, people feel safe to be able to use social media to express themselves. There are 3 remaining parties and the responsibility rests on them all equally to sign. So that's SLPP, it's APC, and also this new party, which is Republic National Independent Party. So all 3 are remaining to sign, and we call on them all equally to please sign as well.
According to Solomon Sugbandi, Director of Amnesty International Sierra Leone, it is critical that those who are contesting to lead Sierra Leone should ensure that civic space is protected. As the official campaign period, they are calling on all presidential candidates and parties to sign the Civic Space Manifesto and commit to enable people and civil society groups to participate fully and freely in civic life during and after the election period.
Out of the 17 political parties, 14 have already signed. Unfortunately, the 2 traditional parties, SLPP and APC, they have not signed. But we'll continue to engage them to have some form of commitment from them by signing to the manifesto. The issue of rights is not about Amnesty and the civil society organization, it's about all of us, because we think it's not government that should give us the rights, but it's government that should provide us the space for us to enjoy these rights. And how can we have political parties committing to this process of ensuring that when they come into power, they will give us the space for us to enjoy our rights. So we continue to appeal to the citizens of this country that together we are in this together, and let them continue to support us through asking questions, especially when politicians come to your communities asking for your vote. Please ask them, if I will only give you my vote if you have signed to the Civic Space Manifesto that is being championed by Amnesty International and civil society organizations.
Democracy, good governance and human rights requires an acceptance of diversity of opinion, association and assembly when realized in society. It ensures equality before the law and guarantees to all equal protection under the law. Duraman Samura, Star Television, Freetown.
Let's join our sport correspondent, Hilton John, for some sport news.
Thanks to Aida Cisse in the studio for some sporting news. We start with the local scene where there is an issue surrounding the Sierra Leone Football Association and also the Ministry of Sports. According to the Secretary General of FIFA, Fatma Samura, sent a letter to the Minister of Sport, Ahmed Kanu, for him to lay down his power dictating to the Football Association about election integrity checks and also the Constitution. Here is the report.
The Federation of International Football, FIFA, General Secretary Fatma Samura has sent a letter to the Minister of Sport, Ahmed Kanu. According to the letter addressed to the Minister of Sport of Sierra Leone, Ahmed Kanu, dated the 30th of January 2018, it stated that in relation to the situation of Sierra Leone football, SLFA, in this context, we refer to the decision of FIFA Member Association Committee dated 4 December 2017 to maintain the FIFA administration to implement the recommendations of the task force. 1. To assist the Sierra Leone Football Association in reviewing its status to ensure that integrity checks are carried out to elected officials and elaborating the code of ethics. 2. To define a roadmap which forces the adoption of the new status and the code of ethics, the elections of an electoral committee, and finally the holding of elections of the new SLFA official bearers. To propose a solution, SLFA match fixing inquiry. Based on your conversation with Mr. Veron Mosingo, FIFA Director Member Association Committee, we kindly remind you that the FIFA administration will be in the lead in assisting the Sierra Leone Football Association in reviewing its status and in ensuring that they comply with the FIFA requirements. We therefore urge you not to interfere with this process in accordance with the Constitution. For Star TV News, I am Milton John reporting.
One will be asking the question why yet still there is no sanity within the football family after we saw the Minister of Sport Ahmed Kanu on December the 25th in Makeni told President Koroma that he will settle the impasse within the football family before the commencement of the general election. Well, 1 month ago for the general election, yet still football family in shambles. More sports news in the locality. The Dwaza Veteran Inter-Community Football Competition Grand Final will be on Sunday at the Dwaza Community. Defending champions, that is England Community, qualified to the finals, yet to see whether they will retain the championship. And finally, for today's sport news, coming up over the weekend on Sunday, Liverpool Football Club will play against Tottenham Hotspur. We saw what Tottenham did against Manchester United. Will Liverpool be a victim? Is the big question. That's all for sports. Back to Iwaida Cisse in the studio.
That was Hilton John with a sport update. You've been watching the local news live here on Star TV with me, Waida Cisse. Thanks for watching and do have a great weekend. The weather update coming up shortly after the news. Stay blessed.